Yeah, let's talk a bit about our update, actually. It's an evolution of Spotify. So we have really redesigned the whole feed so that you can seamlessly, and that's probably the first app in the world that does it, seamlessly discover different kind of content types from music, podcasts to audiobooks in a totally new way. So for us, it's like since probably the launch of our mobile apps a decade ago, that's probably the biggest evolution of our system. And look, creators, they want to express themselves, and they feel that there are many ways to express themselves. And one is through moving pictures. So that's why we feel that giving them the ability to showcase their true self and what they want to express with their music or with their podcast is definitely something that they were striving for. And the big stream-on event we had yesterday was mainly catered to creators, artists, podcasters, and authors. So that's why we are super proud of this new update.
Michael, it's certainly a fight for entertainment hours when it comes to listeners, viewers, watchers. Can I just ask you, though, about the implications of TikTok again, though, because it feels as though you may have a shrinking playing field if TikTok is excluded from the United States. You've got to wonder how far that stretches. Do you think TikTok will be taken out of the equation as a competitor soon?
I would like to avoid commenting on TikTok itself because we're focusing really on our business, and our business was super strong, as you just said, and we have reached a big milestone of 500 million users across the globe. Europe is one of the big strongholds. We are coming from Europe. We actually founded in Sweden, so we are a European company. And yeah, our business is really thriving. We had a very strong Q4, well above our guidance, and reached 205 million subscribers also on the paying side. So we are super confident about our business and really focusing on our business of that side of the more like audio and lean back or background listening kind of experience.
Michael, I'm going to lay my cards on the table. I am a fan of your product. I use your product. I pay for your product. And yet, if I was an owner of your product, I wouldn't be happy because your company doesn't make profit, hasn't made profit for 17 years. So from my own point of view, I like using it. From your point of view, I don't know how you're going to get to profitability, sir. Can you enlighten me?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we have a very solid gross margin of 25.3% that we kind of outlined in our Q4 earnings. It's obviously a big market for growth, so we have to invest. We expanded into more than 180 countries. We are, as you can see, continuously investing a lot in the product, working a lot with AI. We also just released an AI DJ that will serve music better to customers, a new, very innovative AI-guided playlist and smart shuffle functions. So obviously there is still a lot of investment going into the product. So it's like we're seeing a big growth. The unit economics are fine. And that's why we are super confident about the long-term kind of outlook of our business, actually.
You haven't really answered my question, Michael. Your margins are getting worse. Your operating margin in the fourth quarter is negative 7.3%. You lost for the year 231 million in the latest figure. I actually don't know the currency. Let's assume that's krona. The fact is you're still losing money in a stunningly competitive environment as well. Let me make the question very simple. Michael, when are you going to make money?
So we're not giving that kind of forecast for the long run any longer. So we're not giving like the 23 guidance. So I can't tell you the full year economics looking forward. But I can definitely tell you that we are also focusing on the business and the health of our business. As you might have seen, we also done a kind of adjustment of the workforce some months ago or some weeks ago, actually. And we're also more like obviously conscious on cost spendings. So we are very confident that we're on the right track to also profitability.
Is it still going to be the case, Michael?
It's more a marathon than a sprint, for sure.
It's a very long marathon, I think we all acknowledge. But, I mean, is it going to be the same in 2023 that operating expenses will outpace revenue growth?
We're still focusing on the growth and obviously keeping the profitability also in sight and focusing on that as well. But it's kind of this two-sided focus that we are going for this year.
Let me ask you a slightly different question then. I mean, you've cut 6% of the workforce here. You are cracking down on the cost side of the business. What is the potential for further ancillary revenue or indeed for raising the price of the product to your embedded users?
Yeah, look, I mean, obviously, we're adjusting prices in markets. So we have adjusted prices in many markets already, and we're looking at that. It's always a case-by-case and market kind of decision, where's the market currently at. where's the overall economic situation, what are the licensing conditions, and then we adapt that. So that's definitely one part of the strategy to go forward with. And then obviously we announced also a lot of new things, like we announced the launch of the audiobooks. But also when you speak about ancillary revenues, we just announced yesterday that we have a much deeper integration of merch and concerts. So there's obviously also a new way to play and also to drive new revenues for artists and for the company.
Michael, a couple of questions around AI. As you mentioned, you've got this DJ run by an algorithm. Can you give us a sense as to whether consumers are willing to pay up for this extra service, how costly it is for you to run at this point, but also whether you have any concerns about the sort of music that the algorithm comes up with and whether there are any risks here when it comes to reputation for the business?
Yeah, no, I mean, we've worked with kind of AI functions and large language models for a very long time. So we have already big, like very well-known playlists like the Discover Weekly or the Release Radar that many of the customers will know. And we know from the customer feedback that they appreciate that a lot. And those are generated very individually for each customer by our large language models and the artificial intelligence that our systems are providing. So we're just now taking it to the next level of guiding it and surfacing it in a different way, where we felt that customers were actually also wanting some context, some like why is Spotify now proposing that to me? So we have like launched this AI DJ to give a bit more context, to give a bit more background on the music, much like a radio DJ would as well. But it's totally like localized and individually programmed for you yourself. But on the risk side, we have a lot of experience with working with our large language models and the AI, and we feel it's the best user experience you can get because it's totally individualized. And yeah, once you've tried it, you will never want to go back.